What's up, people? It's your boy Sever Providence back at again with another YouTube review. As you can see, we are going to be talking about the movie Mayhem. This was this. Let me give you a little backstory on this one. So, I have been meaning to watch this film for over, I think, a year at this point, or almost over a year. I think ever since last year, when I started to actually use my Chromebook and was using and I was brought to attention of this movie, or I knew about this movie for I think over 2 years at this point now, but I was interested in watching this movie around the start of last year, and I've had it like sitting on my desktop, a whole tab open ready to watch this movie for a minute now, and I just haven't. And then around the start of this month, I was like, maybe a little bit before in like September, I was like, oh, Halloween's coming up and I want to do a horror movie marathon. So let me see what movies I could watch. I looked up at my tab and I was like, oh yeah, Mayhem. That's totally a movie I could watch. And it's a horror movie and it works and everything for the Halloween vibe and aesthetic. So I was like, you know what? Boom. There you go. There you fucking go. And yeah, so I finally watched this movie. It's been almost a whole year since I've been trying to watch this movie. And it's crazy how like it would literally be at the top of my tab. I click on it, I'd be like, okay, let me watch it, and then I just wouldn't, and I'd go watch something else, or I'd forget about it, or I'd go do something else. But after finally sitting down and kind of forcing my fucking dumb, stupid baby brain to actually watch this movie, I have got to say, I've really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this movie. This movie was like, it was so much fun, and it was like awesome to watch from start to finish. I like how the beginning, basically, before I start getting into it, actually, this movie's about Derek Cho, aka Stephen Yu's character. I'm sorry if I pronounced the last name wrong. Steven's character, he is like this. He's kind of like an average kind of guy who kind of goes into like this big corporation, hoping to be able to get a spot at a big table so he can, or at like the get a spot at like the top of the ladder by working his way up so he can accomplish things that his parents didn't, and like make a name for himself after despite being a somewhat lower class or average standing citizen or whatever. And over the course of him working there, he's become a jaded person, as most people do after working a long time at a job that they don't really like or whatever. And at the start of him working there, he really liked the job, but as I said, he's become jaded over time. And then so, while working there one shift, a virus enters the building, and after like some backstage politics stuff in his business or whatever, he ends up nearly getting fired. But the virus drops in as he's getting fired, and then a bunch of fucking crazy murderous shenanigans happen as this virus causes everyone's like emotional states to be like elevated to like a 100 basically. And so we're just following his character as he's trying to get his job back and kind of fight his way through literally fight his way through to the top of the ladder in like a kind of like meta way of like fighting your way to the top, or working your way up to the top in a working standpoint, but also working his way up to the top and like an actual physical standpoint as well, which I really liked. This one is more of an action movie than it is horror, but it does have horror elements in it, which is why it is classified as a horror action movie. But I think because it is a very action heavy movie, but also has a genuine story of kind of there's bits of redemption in this story. Obviously, a lot of humor in this story, in this movie, and overall, it's like a story of like I said, working his way up to the top. And I feel like it those aspects elevate this movie, because I think like if it had been like just like a movie about a virus that infects the whole office that he's in, and he has to find a way to survive, I think that still would have been an interesting movie, but I don't think it would have been as interesting as it was with the movie we got. With the movie we got. This film has like awesome characters from start to finish. Like your main characters of Stephen Yu and Melanie Cross, or of Steven. My God, I don't know why I'm calling this dude Steven, because his character's name is Derek Cho. Derek and Melanie Cross, the secondary character played by Samara Weaving. These two characters are awesome. Samara's character is basically this person who's losing her house because of bullshit political evil corporation bullshit, classic evil corporation stuff. And Derek, instead of helping her out, just dismisses her problems, because she brings it up to him, and he just like openly dismisses her. So after she gets kind of like taken away by security so she could be tossed out of the building and whatnot, they end up meeting, because as she's getting tossed out, the lockdown happens for the virus, and they keep everyone trapped in or whatever, so no one can like go out and cause damage outside of the corporate building or whatever. So at first you think like, oh, they're gonna like, she's gonna go after this dude and try and kill him, but they end up making like a mutual agreement, and they realize that they have a common enemy of like the higher ups, being like these people that they need to at least get in talks with, or go after, so they can get an appeal for their cases, for Melanie getting her house back, and for Derek getting his job back. And I really like how like we're following them, and like from being people who don't like each other / hate each other, to people who are like friends to potential like lovers by the end of the movie. And I really like that. They're like, and then like their characters themselves are just really funny and cool. Like I really fucked with both of them. These guys acted their fucking asses off, and all the supporting characters, whether that be I don't know what his name was, but Derek has a friend in the business that gets killed off very early in by one of the higher ups goons, and on accident, but it causes Derek to just go on a warpath to just go up to the top and kill the higher up, because he mocks his friend's death and everything twice. There's this fucked up scene where he pisses on his friend's body or whatever, and also he was just making, like, when he initially died, he was just making fun of his death and disregarding it as being something so minute and not important. And so Derek goes on a warpath after that, trying to get to the higher up, to his boss, and trying to kill him. The makeup design was great in this film as well. Like, these characters get beat to hell. A lot of these characters get beat to hell and get bloody and fucked up, and they did like a great job with like really showing that. There's like, the blood doesn't look fake, it doesn't look bad. They get bruising and everything, the bruising doesn't look bad, it looks realistic. And then they did like a great job with like the whole the way to indicate someone having a virus is like their eye would be like all like blood red, like as if like blood exploded in their eye, or like a vessel popped in their eye and then there was blood in their eye or whatever. That's how it looks, and they did like a really effective job of portraying the red eye for the virus, so you knew how it would look and who had the virus and whatnot. I really like that. As I was saying earlier, the story was really nice and sweet. It's a story of these the two main characters, Derek and Melanie, coming together to go against a common enemy of like these corrupt higher ups, and ending up from being like enemies at the start of this film, with Derek basically being like the higher ups that he's that antagonize him and fire him. He was basically acting as them, and for his character to make like a full 180 and end up being like kind of the character that he was at the start, that he was monologuing about how he was like this nice innocent guy who like just wanted to work his way up, from being like the jaded version of himself to kind of going back to his original character, was nice to see. And then for Melanie and him to end up being friends by the end of this, despite their huge confrontation at the start. And yeah, it was just really nice. And how like Derek, who he literally had a chance to just own the whole company after beating his boss and having the other founding members of the corporation or whatever basically give him the go-ahead to be the new boss of the place. He ends up giving it up for Melanie so she could get her house back and everything. And I really fucking love that. That was really nice to see. And it was just like I said, like I really like following these two characters. Samara Weaving is like one of my favorite actors to watch. I've seen her in Ready or Not, and even her small role in Scream 6 or 7, I think. I forgot which number Scream we're on. I think it's 6, but I could be wrong. But even her small role in Scream 6 was really nice to see. And like she's becoming one of my favorite actors to watch. And Stephen Yu, maybe I've seen a film with him in it before, but like with this being like my actual first exposure and remembering it, he's become one of my favorite actors just off jump, and I really fuck with that. They all, like, the whole cast did an excellent job. I wish I knew more of the other characters, like including the side characters' names, but they all did fantastic. I really liked them. Like all the characters that like were actually given full roles and everything, and weren't just background characters, were really nice. And even like this kind of side / background characters did good in their roles as well. And yeah, I just thought this movie was a complete fucking W. This was a W movie. A W movie. Definitely one of my favorite movies that I've watched for this whole horror marathon thing. I know I said that on the last one as well, but honestly, this one I liked more. I like this even more than Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which goes to show just how really like good the acting and the story was. And then the violence in this was awesome too. Like the fight scenes that they had, her with the nail gun going crazy, like it was really good. And I really like this movie a lot. I'd recommend it to people who haven't seen it. It's a ton of fun to watch. And with all of that in mind, my score for this film is going to be like an 8.5 out of 10. I'm pretty sure if I figure out how to do it, I will just do a tier list of all the movies I've seen, all 31 movies I'll see for this horror movie marathon. And yeah, this will probably definitely be at the top. It honestly deserves it. It was really fucking good. It was a really good story. The characters were awesome. I enjoyed the whole length of the movie, even though like similarly to when I kind of replaced Suspiria because I wasn't feeling it. I was not necessarily speaking that I wasn't feeling the movie, but I just wasn't feeling like watching movies. I was tired, and I wasn't really interested in watching a movie at all. But when I put this on and everything, it pulled me in. It dragged me right into the story, and I was invested the whole ride through. And yeah, so like I said, 8.5 out of 10. Really solid movie. One of my favorite movies I've seen on the list, and I'd highly recommend it to others. And with that out of the way, done with the review. As always, leave my socials at the end. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe because it helps out the channel. And if you don't want to comment, instead of comment, share the video. Even clicking the share button will help, because then it'll show YouTube and everyone that like this video is getting a lot of shares, it's getting a lot of attention, and so they'll put it out to other people and spread it, and that would really help, as I'm trying to get to my current goal is 50 subscribers, and currently I'm at 16, so like only what, like 34 more people. And if I get to 50, I'll do like this huge YouTube, not YouTube, this huge cartoon tier list thing that I have set up. I'm kind of interested in like bringing my friends into it. And if not cartoons, I think I might do an anime tier list instead. And yeah, with that out of the way, peace. Stay pimpin' pimps.